Greetings and hello everyone, and welcome back to another challenge video. Today I have for you Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, but it's Sekiro. AKA I'm only using katanas and the deflecting hard tier that allows you to block at perfect timings, or close to perfect timings, and you take no damage. This is going to be a longer intro, so while I talk I'll have the footage of me fighting Radon pre-patch, as well as getting the important stuff in the base game, because I made a rule for myself to not leave the DLC once I enter, with the exception of the round table. Anyway, I'm gonna get a bit personal with this intro, so get ready to hear what's been happening to me over the last year-ish. It's a lot of health issues, physical and mental. I was in a deep depression that I thought I would never get out of. But luckily I did, by doing, the usual confronting my past and whatnot, realizing that my childhood was kind of shitty. I also turned 18 exactly a week before recording this, actually, a week ago. But don't worry, I'm good now, mentally anyways. Physically, I have been, we'll say bad, but you can decide if it's bad or not. I'm trying to have a good outlook on everything recently, so I'm not going to call it bad, but for the sake of the video, we'll just say it's bad, and you can judge if you're actually still watching this. A bit over 10 months ago, my right clavicle, aka your collarbone, dislocated. The weird thing was that it was caused by nothing. There was no injury that caused it. I wasn't playing any sports or anything. My girlfriend and I were just chilling in my room watching some YouTube, and I noticed that I just felt off, almost sick, but I could tell that I wasn't sick. And I felt my collarbone because I had already been having issues with it before, and it moved down my chest. So I started freaking out, and so my girlfriend looked over and noticed that it was visibly really wrong. The part that connects to the middle of your chest, that's above your sternum, was no longer connected on the right side. So I told my girlfriend to quickly look up how to relocate your collarbone, and she found a video, and lucky for me, the method for getting it back in said video worked. From that moment, my mental health rapidly decreased. It wasn't good before, but I just got to a new low that I didn't know I could get to before. I lost about 60 pounds because I had developed an eating disorder, and I got down to 114 pounds. It was not good in any way. I had thought about, taking my life a few times. Never tried anything, though. And at the lowest point, I was at the lowest point, my rock bottom. I thought I'd be stuck there forever, but luckily, my girlfriend, the amazing person that she is, she's my soulmate, helped me out of there, and now I'm happier than I've been since I was a little kid. And I've been gaining weight back. I'm back to 120-ish pounds. But since clearing my mind and actually finding happiness, I have had 4 other dislocations. I've never dislocated or broken a bone or anything like that before my collarbone, and now my body seems to be trying to catch up with my mind or something. The other 4 dislocations have been my tibia on my left leg, which is basically your shin bone, and on my right leg, my kneecap dislocated. On my left hand, my ring finger dislocated, and just a few days ago, the same clavicle, my collarbone, re-dislocated. It wasn't as bad as the first time, but it still hurts really bad. So my life has just become living in constant fear of the next dislocation, and it takes so much effort just to be slightly active. Like, even just walking takes a lot of energy, and I'm in constant pain, which I was my whole life, just not to this extreme. Our theory is that I have EDS, an acronym for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's a hypermobility disorder that affects my connective tissues and, slightly more importantly, my collagen levels. It either makes my collagen levels really low, so I just have a low count, or the collagen is just really bad quality. It's basically the stuff that holds your joints together, which is why the dislocations have been happening without warning or injury. I think losing a bunch of weight has also helped with, not having very good joints anymore. I haven't been officially diagnosed by a doctor for EDS, but we are 98% sure that I have it, because I've always been super flexible, more flexible than anyone I knew throughout school, in any grades, and now I try my best to not be flexible, because there is no cure for EDS. I will have chronic pain for my whole life, I will probably have more dislocations, but I can prevent a lot of the pain, and I can try to prevent the dislocations by being active. It just gets harder and harder the more dislocations that happen, because my body is trying to heal and put the energy into healing instead of into my muscles that should be holding my joints together in the first place. My dad has been helping me out a lot, taking me to the gym, making sure I know my limits, because I don't anymore. I used to, but since I lost all that weight, it's been a lot harder to tell what I should and shouldn't do with my body. Normal stretching doesn't work for me. Most physically normal things that people can do, I can do farther without even feeling a stretch, which as a kid I thought was good and cool, and it can be if I build up the muscles to keep my joints together. But now it's, causing me to fall apart like a shitty put together Lego set, Another theory that we've had is that stress has been causing at least some of the dislocations. I know stress caused the first one, the collarbone, because I can get overstimulated really easily, especially now because of my body, and when I'm the most stressed is when my joints feel the most stress. It's I don't know how to explain it very well, but my mental really has a lot to do with my physical, and I believe that is at least why the collarbone popped out. All of this has also made me realize that it's going to be much harder to get and keep a job, especially in this economy, because even if I get to a healthier spot where I can start working a normal job, I could have another dislocation just out of nowhere because of the stress that can be put on top of you when you're working a normal job, like 9 to 5 or whatever. So I've had 2 jobs throughout my life, and they were not worth the hassle at all. A big reason is because I live in one of the 50 states that has a minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. I don't know how the hell someone is supposed to live off of that, or even function off of that. It makes no sense to me. I don't like living in America. I am not a proud American. So many jobs are shutting down, including at least 5 local businesses around me, which just makes job searching harder and harder, and it's just a struggle. My life has become so much of a struggle recently. I don't like it. So what I'm saying with the whole job thing is that I really want to, and kind of need to, make a career out of YouTube. I feel like I am good at making videos. Over the years, I've been making videos since I was like 14. So I've been in the quote-unquote business for a little over 4 years, probably. I am going to be putting as much effort as I can into my videos. I was putting a lot of effort before, but now full effort is going in. This will be the last video that I edit and upload with my PS4. All of my future content on this and my second channel, you should go check it out, it's just called Zevin Again, will be done from my PS5. I got a PS5 recently. I don't know if I mentioned that on this channel, but I did on my second channel, I know that. It's a lot easier to edit, and it's just better. everything's just better on the PS5. It's a major upgrade from the PS4. So, anyways, enough said. Just know that I'm doing the best that I can, and I appreciate every single one of you watching this. Go ahead and subscribe if you'd like to help me out and haven't already. And without further ado, please enjoy the video, and thanks for sticking around.
Goodbye, lands between. And hello, Land of Shadow.
Oh yeah, one more thing. I forgot to mention that YouTube, I don't know how recently, but they added a feature so I can see who subscribes to me. So if you do choose to subscribe to me, I will be subscribing back to anyone who does. Anyways, the first thing I did was go to fight this big guy, because all of these guys, they're called furnace golems. They drop tiers for the physic, so this one is the first one in the game, and lucky for me, he drops the deflect tier. So after only a few minutes of slashing at his legs, he goes down. I then went over to grab this talisman that increases your damage by 20% for 30 seconds when you get a critical, which is when you knock an enemy down and go up to them to do a special move, like I just did on the Furnace Golem. Then I went to collect some Shadow Tree fragments, which in the DLC can increase your damage and defense. There's a trick that you can do in the DLC by using Margit or Mohg's Shackle to unlock the locked Spirit Springs. Another rule I made for myself is that I can't do that trick, so I grabbed as many fragments as I could within my limits. Then I went over and grabbed the Great Katana, which is a subclass that they added to the DLC, and it's basically the longest katana in the game. And then I grabbed the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman, which boosts your stamina recovery by a ton. And then I went to the Cerulean Coast, which I will need to be in for another boss fight later on. Then I decided I wanted some armor, so I got to Skidoo Blessing 5 and got to level 42 to head over to fight the Knight of the Solitary Jail. I thought his previous name was better.
Alright, let's see how this goes. Dark Jail Knight. Okay. Sit down, bitch. Oh boy. Oh boy. No more heals, dumbass. Backstab, bitch. 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 Alright, second try, nice. Give me thine armor, bitch. Cool. Pretty sure I can only wear the chest piece right now. That'll be heavy lead, yeah. Yes.
Then I decided I wanted to fight one of the new dragons in the DLC, and most of them are undead, especially in these water areas. So I put on Holy, because Holy does a ton of damage to undead, and I kinda destroyed this dragon.
Oh, that headshot damage is huge. That is huge. Oh, and a stagger? Holy shit, this dragon's getting shit on. Get over the way. Oh, no! Ain't no way. Hang on. Buddy, you need to die. Hit him. Yeah! Oh yeah, I'm glad I got the holy stuff.
I then went to challenge an actual boss, Relana, and we'll just say it went.
Damn. Alright, shit. Okay. This is gonna be a little tough. Wow. That's some pretty incredible damage if I do say so myself. God damn. Okay, yeah, I'll come back to this.
Then I remembered there's an armor set that you can get without having to fight anything. Relana was obviously not happening anytime soon, so I went back to the Cerulean Coast to go underground and fight the boss that I mentioned earlier, but discovered that Miquella's Great Rune is blocking the path to said boss.
Oh, what? It's okay, I didn't know there was parts of the DLC that are like this.
Which means there's only two options for major bosses, Relana and the Dancing Lion. I could go to Bale, but there's no chance I'm beating Bale right now. So I went with the Dancing Lion, because his combos are much more predictable than Relana's. So I could actually take my time to learn how to deflect it in this game. And I took my time.
Okay, the damage is not that bad.
Level 60.
Oh!
That first attempt sucked so bad, I'm not even getting down. That was first try. That was first try.
Oh! Oh, that's a grab attack. Okay. Double chomp is a grab. Good to know. That's not what I mean.
Alright, and that's the first boss done, which means, of course, next up is Bale. Hang on. I meant R'Lana. Everyone has their Genichiro moment in Sekiro. Of course, Genichiro is the first, like, intricate boss that you have to learn to parry in Sekiro. R'Lana was kind of my Genichiro boss. She definitely gave me a lot of trouble. But in turn, I actually learned how the deflect tier works. The closer to an attack you deflect, the less damage you'll take. If you do it at the exact perfect time, you take no damage and you take very little stamina damage. But if you do it a little late, then you'll take some health damage and a little bit more stamina damage. It's fairly complicated, but I basically figured it out because of R'Lana. Another thing that it does is stack up a damage boost every time you get a perfect deflect. I don't know if it has to be perfect, but every time you stack that up, the next guard counter is going to be even more powerful. So parrying a bunch of attacks in a row and then doing a guard counter will make that attack do a ton of damage, which is just amazing. I love the deflect tier.
Fuck, her second phase is hard. Bro, I'm pressing it! What the fuck?
After defeating Ranni's aunt, I leveled up a bit and got some more scuba frogs, getting to blessing level 8, and then heading to the Shadow Keep so I could fight the annoying-ass hippo.
Quit rolling around, you bitch. Just give me the stagger. Why? Why no stagger? ass hippo. Oh, stamina! Why did it not repost? Oh my god, it got another stagger, that's huge. Holy shit. Okay, this is it. Nice.
Shortly after that, I had a little mishap going for the shortcut.
No! I should not have been up there! Okay, it's fine. Open the damn door.
Then I went after some of the hippo's children for their Scooby snacks.
Alright, just get it. Cool. See you later, bitch. Okay.
Then this guy gave me this weird small phallic object, so I could go blow into this big phallic object and get something special. And then I went to fight Ancient Dragon Man. After that, I assassinated another hippo, and then went down to that underground area I was blocked out of before. Mikla's great room being destroyed is what opened this place up. And down here is the Putrescent Knight, St. Trina's guard dog, pretty much. This guy hits like a truck, and by this point I'm realizing that stamina is a bit of an issue. Lucky for me, he takes a ton of damage to holy attacks. Okay, it's been about a week since I last edited this, so this video is more delayed than I wanted, but it's alright. I got an ear infection, which has been sucking all of my energy and motivation out, so I'm forcing myself to edit, and I'm actually having fun with it. So, anyway, I grabbed some Scooby snacks, and then praised this statue to open up another area that I'll go to after beating Commander Gaius. This guy is more annoying than the hippo. He's weak to lightning and holy, so I went with a lightning build. I also didn't know about the holy weakness during this run. But this guy rides a boar and uses gravity magic to do some really tedious attacks. Like that one. That I like to call the fuck-ass combo. It was the bane of a lot of my deaths. as you can see. Now that he's going into Phase 2, I just wanted to point this out. His phase transition and the attack he goes into right after is really goofy. He just goes up and spins super fast, slamming into the ground. It is really easy to dodge, actually. They had Gaius guarding something real special. 5 whole Scooby Snacks. Now it's time to go to that secret area, which is quite beautiful, but I'm not here for sightseeing. I've got my sights set on yet another giant phallic object to blow into. Then I decided to fight Dryleaf Dane, because I needed some levels, and of course the best way to get a lot of runes is to fight bosses. It wasn't a scary fight at all. Then I went and got a Marika's rune, which gives 80,000 runes, and some talismans to help me with future bosses. And then I went to kill this guy because he has a cool helmet and Ash of War that I want. Oh shit, wait, wrong clip. That guy was guarding a door with a nice little treat behind it, and a boss that I will be fighting later. That little treat gets me to Scooby level 15, and then I went to kill the horn scent with Letta just so I don't have to fight him later on. This next boss is where that Ash of War comes in handy. This big sunflower is the Skidoo Tree Avatar. It's obviously weak to fire, and it takes a ton of damage if you hit its head. It's just a little difficult to hit sometimes. Alright, there you have it. That was easy enough. Oh wait, what's that? Oh, you're not done, okay. This still shouldn't be too bad. Okay, now it's dead. That was a little more challenging, but I still think there could be more. Oh, I didn't mean like that, come on. Alright, surely. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's dead. So anyways, I went back and talked to Emir, which is the guy that gave me the little phallic object to blow into big ones. And he went away. So, I naturally, investigated. And he has a ladder under his chair. Would you look at that? Another giant phallic object. Let's see what happens when we blow into this one. It's an outro! Haha, get blue-balled. Anyway, I won't leave you on a cliffhanger for too long. Part 2 will be uploaded a week after this comes out, so stay tuned for that. And if you did end up enjoying the video, make sure to like it and subscribe if you haven't already. It takes me a very long time to make these videos, so it would be greatly appreciated. And with that said, I will see you guys next week.